Everyone, and welcome to EduTap. So it gives me immense pleasure to welcome Mr. Sinjoy Guha, who is today with us to share his strategy for the Reserve Bank of India manager level examination. Sinjoy, first of all, welcome to EduTap and heartiest congratulations from the entire team of EduTap for making it to the finalist of RBI.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, how are you today? How are you feeling?
Yeah, I am elated. It is something I have been deciding for past 3 years. Basically, I have achieved that. It is a very happy experience.
So it's a dream come true, right?
Yes, sir, definitely.
Right. So Sinjoy, we'll start with like we were talking on the phone yesterday. You called me, that you have cleared the
Yes, sir.
examination.
Yes, sir.
So we were talking about a very special subject that you had given the interview last year
Yes,
as
sir.
well, but you were
Yes,
not
sir.
selected.
Yes, sir.
Right. So let's start with that feeling that when
Yeah.
you clear phase one, you clear phase two, then you reach the interview stage, you take
Yes,
the
sir.
interview, but when
Yes,
you
sir.
see the final result, your roll
Yes, sir.
number is not there in the result. How does that feel? Because this is the moment or this is the day when a lot of other aspirants who
Yes,
have
sir.
not been able to make it to the final list are feeling
Yes, sir.
that same thing. So can we
Yes, sir.
start with that feeling first?
Yeah, definitely, sir. Actually, the thing, basically for the past 2 years in 2018 and 19, I have been trying, and both of the times I reached this interview stage, and in both of the times my name was not in the final list. So actually, it was quite terrific because since I'm a working candidate, so I do not get enough time to read. And for the time, like 2 or 3 months before the examination, the time I get, and it is like quite hectic and a tedious schedule that I have to go through before the exam. So after that tedious and hectic schedule, when the name is not in the final list, so it basically feels like everything. I mean, all the sleepless nights and those tedious nights, everything has gone in vain. And that time I actually became skeptical on myself whether it is really for my within my capability or not. So, and it is actually the thing is that I'm quite afraid whether next time I can give this much of dedication that I have given the last time. So that is the overall feeling. It feels bad actually.
I think that feeling of self-doubt is the worst feeling, na Sanjoy? Because the examination
Yeah.
process makes you doubt yourself that whether I am capable for the examination or not.
Yes, sir.
So,
Definitely.
Sanjoy, how did you pick yourself up, like giving two interviews? Because I have been
Yes.
through the same thing. Like I gave civil services interviews two times,
Okay.
and I
Okay.
know I can empathize. I know that exact feeling that
Yes,
how
sir.
scared you are to pick up the books again, how scared you are to put in the effort again,
Yes,
how
sir.
self-doubting that period is.
Yes, sir.
So, what helped you, or what motivated you to pick up the
Yeah.
books again and to take out time again, being a working candidate, and prepare with the same zeal and the motivation again? What motivated you?
The only thing that motivated me is the target, because after the result is out, what you see that we are not able to get there. But again, when we are frustrated, just see look at the target, that what you could have achieved if you would have been successful. The
Hmm.
target is there. The thing is
Hmm.
that you were not eligible enough to get into the position, but the target is not changed. I mean, even if I do not get into a way, someone else will. And the extra, the speciality of the RBI, that will never go out. And this thing actually again motivated me to uh, give it a try. And here I am after the third attempt actually.
Great, well said.
Yes, sir.
So that target should be clear in your mind that what kind of feeling it would be when your name will be in the finalist, and what kind of feeling it would be when you would
Yes,
join
sir.
the organization, undergo the training, and join the department, right?
Yes, sir. Definitely.
Okay, so Enjoy, let's come to your background. Please tell us
Okay,
in
sir.
detail about your background, your educational qualification, then your work experience also.
Okay. Sir, actually, basically, I belong to Kolkata. I am born and brought up in Calcutta,
Hmm.
and I have graduated in mechanical engineering in 2014. And since 2015, I am working in a steel sector, working the steel sector in a public sector undertaking.
Hmm.
And currently, I am holding the post of manager
Hmm.
there. So, as a mechanical engineer, I am just currently working in the same background,
Hmm.
and I have been preparing for this exam for the last 3 years
Hmm.
in a parallel. So that's all up.
Any other examination you took during this tenure?
No, actually RBI is the only examination that I have taken, and that is what all of the time I have got after my job. I have dedicated this to only these exams.
Okay, so no civil services, no NABARD, no SEBI, nothing.
No, SEBI exam once I appeared in the phase one, but I couldn't clear it because my
So
preparation
that was
was
not
not
your
enough.
target, basically. Target
Yeah,
was
that
always
was not my
RBI.
target. And other
So,
than that, I have not appeared in it.
right. So, Srinjoy, what made you choose only Reserve Bank of India manager as a target? There must be something exciting about the job or something that must have drove you that, okay, well, this is because generally we don't keep all the eggs in one basket, right? We attempt multiple
Right,
examinations.
right,
Like,
sir.
okay, RBI is coming, let me also appear for NABARD, let me also appear for SSC, let me also give bank PO, something like, let me join the government sector. So,
Right, sir.
what prompted you to choose only Reserve Bank of India Grade B? What was the motivation behind it?
Yeah, sir, like any other aspirant, after my graduation, I had been appearing in various exams
Hmm.
that consisted of my these particular mechanical engineering exams, PSUs, GATE,
Hmm.
etc.
Hmm.
And parallelly, I also appeared in the banking exams like SBI, IBPS, etc.
Okay.
So during that course of time, actually, I have known a lot of things about the banking and finance, the basic things. The basic was prepared. So after I have got this job in my current public sector undertaking which I'm working. So basically, I didn't find any point to prepare for banks in parallel because I am already in a public sector.
Hmm.
And compared to if I talk about the hectic work schedule in banks, then I am in a better position and the
Hmm.
pay is also quite good as per the market standards.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, but the interest in banking and finance, I thought that these can only motivate me to go into RBI
Hmm.
because the banking was not that much in my book at that point of time.
Hmm.
So that actually prompted me that okay, if I am going to go there, then it is will be RBI only. And the thing is that since 2017, I didn't even know about this exam. So
Hmm.
basically, one of my colleagues, he was quite uh, interested in this banking and RBI exam. So
Hmm.
basically, he suggested me that, and since 2018 only, I have been appearing in this examination.
So in your first attempt itself, you reached the interview stage for RBI.
Yes, sir. First attempt in 2018, I reached the interview stage.
I think that is even more heartbreaking, that in the first attempt you reach the interview and then your name does not come in the final list.
Sir, I differ in this
Acha.
regard because the thing is that first time I was not actually prepared. I didn't
Acha.
know anything about the exam.
You must
I
not be
somehow
expecting that you would clear.
Yes, exactly. I just appeared in the mains and somehow I cleared. Okay, so my mains marks was very low in the
Okay.
UR category. In the UR category, just about the cutoff.
Hmm.
Basically, I mean, when I appeared in the interview, I knew that yeah, the mains marks is quite low. So I didn't actually know about the exam that time.
Okay. Beginner's luck, huh? The first time was beginner's luck.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right, Senjo. So, Senjo, being a working candidate,
Yes, sir.
like you are working in a public sector undertaking, you're already in the government sector.
Yes, sir.
So, after a hard day at work,
Yes,
it
sir.
again becomes kind of it is easy to say that, okay, I have worked a lot today, let me sleep, or let me just watch a movie, or let
Yes,
me
sir.
go through a TV series, or let me read a book, or let me go out with friends, so on and so
Yes, sir.
forth.
Yes, sir.
So but you must have sat through the books and the notes and the material that, okay, I
Yes,
will
sir.
avoid these things and I
Yes,
need to
sir.
focus on my goal. So
Yes,
how
sir.
difficult was that, or was it you had a plan, or you had a schedule, or did you read some quotes or books? Well, what helped you during this journey?
Sir, actually, I will come back to that point that the target is fixed. Okay, so basically, for example, it was very hard after 4 or 5 hours of sleep when I have
Hmm.
had to get up.
Hmm.
But my alarm, I mean, actually, I set my alarm in the mobile, and when the alarm was ringing, the first thing after you open your eyes, you see RBI. Okay, so basically, that gives some electric shock in the brain. Okay, so I cannot sleep right now. Okay,
Okay.
so these is some very little things. These actually do not quite constitute to exam marks or exam performance, but this is something which would not let you sleep.
I
Okay,
understand.
so that is how I somehow manage that. Okay, whatever hectic this is, the target at the end of this path is very much beautiful and sweet and beautiful, what you can say. So that is how I have kept myself motivated.
Well said. Well said. Really good.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Srinjo, let me come to the different phases of the examination. Now,
Okay, sir.
this year, there was descriptive writing in the examination.
Yes, sir.
So it was a change than your previous attempts
Yes, sir.
when it was only MCQ based, right? The phase two paper, ESI and finance and
Right.
management.
Yes,
So
sir.
how did you adjust to this change with respect to phase two? I'm talking about the descriptive part,
Okay.
because you did
Uh,
not have any civil services background, because
no,
the
sir.
general notion is that civil services aspirants, they already have a good hand over descriptive writing, good
Yes, sir.
command over that. But with your background, you do not have any civil services background.
No, sir.
And how did you cope up with that change? descriptive writing?
Sir, actually, to be honest, since I am working as an officer in the public sector, so I have to do a lot of writings. I mean, letters and stuff, reports, and so many things. Actually, I write by my own hand. So that gives me quite the thing of like how to write, how to structure a paragraph, how to structure a sentence, how to write a letter without using any abusive language, but like things like it in an
Understood.
industry, what
Yeah.
you must know. So that thing, but at the same time, I had lot of confidence because I have been a subscriber of EduTap.
Hmm.
Since as I am saying that I do not have time to read from the books and stuff. So basically from the past 3 years only, I have been subscribing to the course of EduTap. And yeah, I am your old student, you must be knowing that.
Yes, yes.
So
You have called me multiple times. We have been on the phone multiple times, not
yes, sir.
once. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, when the structure changed, okay, I was surprised, but I was quite sure that okay, fine, it is okay. I mean, if EduTap is there, they will somehow come up with something. I don't know what they will come up with, but I had the confidence. Okay, I will manage it, and
Okay.
with EduTap's input and with my skills, writing skills, obviously. So I was confident that okay, I can give it a try. So I didn't get that much of afraid by
Mhm.
watching this structure change, phase
Hmm.
two
Hmm.
structure change.
Hmm. Good. Okay. Thank you so much, Sanjoy,
Yeah,
for acknowledging EduTap.
yeah,
Really, really, really thank you.
definitely. Sir. Yeah.
Sanjoy, now coming to my next question, let's go phase wise. I'll
Okay, sir.
start from interview, then I'll come to phase one. I'll go
Okay, sir.
in the reverse fashion. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now, again, why I'm starting with the interview stages.
Yes,
Last
sir.
year, single digit marks. You know, right?
Yes, sir.
Many
I know.
aspirants that got single digit marks,
Yes, sir.
2 marks, 5 marks, 7 marks, and there
Yes.
was at least I could not find any reason why those marks were awarded.
Yes,
So,
sir.
were you afraid of that same scenario repeating itself this year as well? Like maybe I am one of those candidates who gets single digit marks this year that I have cleared phase one, I have cleared phase two. Maybe this happens with me.
No, actually, in this regards, I will just tell my interview story.
Yeah,
Basically, for the first time when I reached the interview, I somehow scored 40 out of 50.
that is good.
Not without, I mean, without any lot of preparation, I just
Formal
scored 40.
preparation. Huh.
But I couldn't clear it as my mains marks was low. So basically, there was something in my mind. Okay, fine, interview I shall crack. It is
Okay.
cool. Okay, I am very cool in interview. Okay. So
Huh.
the next time, what happens that I scored better in mains, but my
Huh.
interview that didn't quite go well. Okay, and I just scored 20 in the next attempt.
Hmm.
So I was like quite sad, and that time I understood that okay, interview is the most ignored thing. I mean, for my last two attempts, and I just ensured that this time I do not repeat the same mistake.
Hmm.
So particularly about interview, if I want to talk about that, since the day the phase two is over, the exam, not the result. After the exam is over, I didn't know whether I will be clearing phase two or not. But okay, fine. I have to give that a try, and I got 3 months. Within that, I have prepared well for the interview, and this time I was quite sure that I shall be having a better interview than last year. So this is it. I was
Understood.
not afraid of single digit marks this year.
Understood. So, how did you actually prepare, Sinjoy? And one more thing, dear aspirants who are watching this session live, you can put in your queries in the chat box. So I'll pick them up if the query is relevant. So I'll definitely pick them up and put them to Sinjoy. So you can use the chat box, whoever is watching this session live, and you can type in your queries. So Sinjoy, coming back to my point, how did you formally prepare for the interview this time?
Okay. So basically, as I told, the interview is the most ignored thing. People
Hmm.
just think that, okay, fine, if I am aware about the current things, then it shall be okay. Yeah,
Hmm.
obviously, one needs to be aware about the current thing, but other than there are many things. The
Hmm.
first one is the HR questions, I would say. The HR questions, this time they were asked so many times, like
Okay.
uh, your background, I mean, why do you want to join Reserve Bank of India?
Huh.
Okay, you are having a good job, then why are you coming here? Okay, these things, these HR-based questions, which I generally think that in higher place like RBI, UPSC, these questions would not be asked. Okay,
Hmm.
but these questions are very much, I mean, it was asked this year.
Hmm.
This is the first thing. And secondly, what I would say that the biodata that is given before the interview, that should be prepared thoroughly. They ask anything from biodata. For
Hmm.
example, like if I give my personal example, I have a home loan, and that is from a housing finance company. So
Hmm.
they asked
Okay.
many questions about a housing finance
Okay.
companies. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
so this is thing. The next thing I would say, the RBI website that should be prepared very thoroughly. You just cannot leave any point left in that website. And what includes in the website? like the latest notifications and the press releases, which was very much like hot topics. There were some hot topics like there was a recent notification of the Reserve Bank of India regarding current account was there. There was one speech of one deputy governor regarding the central bank digital currency. So the hot topics they are asked very much. So basically, we cannot leave any point just left from this RBI website. And fourthly, that I would like to say that just subscribe to any one newspaper and read it daily, like I did for Business Standard newspaper. So basically that I did, but some my other friends who have also cleared, they have done business line. So it is up to your choice, whatever you do. And the fifth and the most important thing, that is the mock interviews. So to be honest, from the last two time, I have not been giving this much, but this year I have appeared like 10 mock interviews approximately.
10.
And that is, yeah, approximately 10 to 15 mock interviews. I do not have the count,
Okay.
but from every source possible, EduTap. Other than that, from various sources like iExamB, Mr. Sushil Ragade, Mr. Anuj Jindal, and I just could not let anyone go. I just have appeared in every mock interview, and all of them have given me various insights about my preparation, where I lag, where what I do need to improve, and all. So they are very important, and I would think the mock interviews are the most important part of this interview. And I would suggest fellow aspirants to continue this. I mean, in the due course of preparation. So this is all how I prepared for the interviews.
Right. Thank you, Sanjay, for the very detailed answer. I have noted down the points. I'll just repeat. One is the HR questions, like why do you want to join RBI? Or they can also ask you, okay, what have you learned in your previous job, experience and all. Then there is a biodata form. I think that is the starting point, because whatever information you furnish in that form, that generally becomes the starting point of the interview. Like you gave your example that you had taken a loan, and so they started talking about that loan, housing finance companies and all.
Yes.
Then the third part
started question asking about housing finance companies. What is the difference with a normal NBFC? What are the regulations and all, etc.
In fact, that is a good point. If you want to steer the interview in your direction, then you can mention something in the biodata form that might interest them, and you can then steer the interview in that particular direction.
Yeah, definitely. And biodata is most important also in this, like the hobbies we mentioned. We have to actually have a real good hold about the hobbies. But like my hobby was like in the music section. So basically the chairman, he asked me questions about it.
Okay.
So we cannot just put it down and don't know anything about it. We cannot just do that.
Understood. Then the third is the RBI website. Then fourth is any one good newspaper that has to be read daily. And last is a mock interview. So the more mock interviews, the better. That is your mantra.
The more mock interviews are the better, because there will be
different feedbacks.
A lot of feedbacks. Yes.
Yeah. So you get a lot of feedback. See, only dear aspirants, the appearing for the mock interview is not sufficient. You have to work on the feedback also, right? So take the feedback, then work on it, introspect and work on it. Right, Sanjay?
Yes, sir. Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. So this interview part is fine. Now let's come to the phase 2 part of the examination. Now, we all know that there is economics and social issues, there is finance and management, and then there is descriptive English.
Yes, sir.
Right. So descriptive writing has also been included in ESI as well as FM.
Right.
Now, Sanjay, again, no civil services background, no formal MBA background or finance background. So how easy or moderate or difficult it was to prepare finance and management? Let's start from that first.
Okay. To be honest, for finance and management, I holistically followed EduTap. I read nothing else.
Okay.
I read the static parts from finance and management. I think they have the best quality material in the market. For the current affairs also, I followed their monthly magazines. Okay. And other than that, there are various sections in the EduTap, like latest RBI notifications in this thing. So that thing I blindly followed, finance and management. And about the descriptive part, as I already told that I needed the input from EduTap, and I had the other skills to write. So basically, I combined those two things. I read all the documents that EduTap has given regarding that, and after that, I have also practiced questions for which I used to send my mock answers to Mr. Anchit Garg, and he used to reply with great patience so many times. Okay. So that for finance and management, starting from objective to descriptive, everything I have followed EduTap only.
Okay.
So this is my suggestion to fellow aspirants, that in case someone is working candidate, if you have time to read books, then go. But I didn't have time to read books. If you do not have time to read books, then read EduTap. This is on my personal opinion. Rest up to them.
So coming from a non-finance background, non-banking background, was it doable, the financial management part? Was it a
Yes, yes.
shocker that something out of the blue has come out and
No, Anchit sir is one of the best teachers in the market, I think. So
okay,
basically, he teaches finance and management like anyone else. I mean, I cannot just
that's
express. He's a very good teacher, and even if I didn't have any background, as I say, but the finance part actually, basically, I have some knowledge regarding my banking, sir. But other than that, the management is totally new to me, like the motivational theories, these and that. So that thing, it was totally taught by Anchit Garg and the other EduTap teams. So that has not been any problem to me.
okay. So I'll take up one question from the chat. One person is very keen about knowing your age. So
Okay,
there
sir.
is a person, Roshan, he is asking, what is your age? What is your age? Please, can you tell me your age?
Yeah, yeah, sure. 28.
28. So Roshan
Yeah.
Srinjoy is 28 years old. What is your age, Roshan? Please type in the chat box. ठीक है. Srinjoy, coming to the economics and social issues paper.
Yes, sir. Hmm.
Now, please tell me about that. Yeah, like FMU very elaborately told us. What about
Yeah.
ESI?
Sir, for the static part, actually, ESI static is very much irrelevant, to be honest,
Hmm.
because but the basically you have to keep some concepts like the balance of payments,
Hmm.
various other things are there. I'm not recalling the chapter
Monetary
name right
policy, growth and development,
now.
inflation.
Monetary policy, yeah, that is very
Yes.
much important.
Yeah,
So
unemployment,
that
poverty.
basic
Hmm.
static knowledge you have to have. For the static part, I followed EduTap,
Hmm.
but to be precise, this static part is not going to help you in exam other than like more than 4 to 5 marks. Okay, because the static part, mainly the current affairs part is important.
Hmm. Hmm.
For the current affairs part, what I have done, I
Hmm.
have read last 8 months PIB
Hmm.
directly from the website,
Hmm.
and I have also subscribed to Affairs Cloud monthly
Hmm.
current affairs. For
Hmm.
that, I purchased them and I used to read them. And
Hmm.
other than that, for ESI, the economic survey, the budget, those things are very important, and they will be thoroughly covered from PIB.
Hmm.
If you have time, you can read economic survey, but I do not find it useful. Also,
Hmm.
I didn't have time. That is the most important thing. And other, even if you have time, I think that reading economic survey is not that much of useful.
Hmm.
This is for the objective part, and the main important thing is the government schemes. And the
Yes.
government schemes, you can follow any source. There are so many IAS channels like the Vision IAS,
Hmm.
Vajiram, so many things. You can follow any single one, but the most important thing that you have to read it in quite deep. For example, in the phase 2, there was one question about PM Kisan Yojana. There was one question. So basically, the question, the options were like which of the following are not eligible to get benefits from the PM Kisan, and there are like so many like
Hmm.
retired army officials
Hmm.
who have become farmers, and so many things. Those things you cannot just
Hmm.
answer unless you read in deep. So
Hmm.
that thing everyone has to read in deep. So this is about the objective part, and about the descriptive part. I followed EduTab only. That EduTab documents, I just read them. I
Hmm.
prepared some questions. I prepared some questions and mock answers. I
Hmm.
used to send them here and there for reviews and all.
Hmm.
So that for descriptive part, I have totally taken help from EduTab.
Understood. Sanjay, one important question with respect to ESI I want to put across to you. See, many aspirants, they have this notion that, see, when they are preparing for RBI now, they start their preparation for RBI, they start with ESI generally. I'm
Yes, sir.
talking about a fresh aspirant, right? A
Yes, sir.
person who is to appear for the examination for the first time. So for ESI, what they do is, what I have learned is, they start with NCRTs. That, okay,
Okay.
let's pick up 10th class NCRT, let's pick up 11th class NCRT. Is it useful, actually, for
For
RBI
RBI
Grade B
Grade B,
specifically?
I don't think you need that.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine. Actually, the thing is that you need to have basic concept. That is the main important thing.
Hmm.
But reading NCRT actually it takes a lot of time. So,
Hmm.
from my perspective, maximum time I could have saved, I have saved that.
Hmm.
So, to be honest, about the basic things they for which they go to NCRT, I followed Moonal. Okay,
Hmm.
so Moonal videos they have this economy UPSC related, and
Hmm.
like he's like one of the best teachers of economics in the market,
Hmm. Hmm.
and just everything is so easy when he
Yeah. Too
teaches
good.
that.
He's too good, na?
Yeah, from
Yeah.
NCRT, the basic microeconomics or the macroeconomics like GDP, GNP, these and that. So that thing will very much lucidly explained
Hmm.
by Munal. So
Hmm.
if anyone goes through that once, I think everything will be clear.
Understood. one question I'll take from the chat box. It is pertaining to VSI.
Okay, sir.
What he's asking is, like you told, 8 months of PIB you read directly from the PIB website. So
Yes.
how did you filter what news items need to be read from PIB? Because PIB gives you ministry-wise releases. So
Yes,
did
sir.
you read
Right.
ministry-wise that, okay, these are the 4 or 5 or 10 ministries I have to read? Or did you go
Yes, sir.
through all the releases and then you shortlisted as per the syllabus? Well, what did you do?
Actually, first I used to open the PIB page of certain, suppose October or November, whatever month you want,
Hmm.
and there are like hundreds or 200s of news list.
Hmm.
You have to filter through that. You
Hmm.
just open every news and
Hmm.
just giving a glance on the news, you would understand whether questions can be asked or not. I mean, there are so many things
So
like
from the point of view of a fresher, Srinjoy, you can understand that, okay, will a question be asked or not, because you have the experience now.
yes,
From
sir.
the point of view of fresher, how will he or she shortlist?
So probably this question will be answered better by someone who is a fresher. But anyway, what I can say that some ministries are important, very much important, like the finance ministry or the as per the ESI syllabus, you would understand like the
Understood.
finance ministry or the rural development ministry and all, Ministry of Health and Ministry of Health. So these new ministries they would have to go through properly. But the some other ministries they are not that much of important. Okay,
Like
so
Ministry of Culture is there, it is not that important,
no, it is
obviously.
not important. And the main important thing about the PIB is there are a lot of repetitions. I mean,
Huh.
what I don't even for suppose Minister of Social Justice and Empowerment, you would see five news and all of them are same. I don't know, some updates are there and this.
Right,
So
right.
actually, it looks a long list that okay, fine, this much of things how they covered or not. But if you go through, then I think it is okay. It is short. You can cover it.
You see, once you start reading the news articles on PIB and you are reading, let's say, for a month, you will see
Yes,
that the previous information is again put out in the next month.
exactly.
They will
That is the
start
point.
linking it that, okay,
Yes,
earlier
yes.
it was this, now it is this. So they will help you revise also.
Images. And if someone is there like me, senior player who has failed once or twice, then they will definitely know what to read and more importantly what not to read.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Again, one
Hmm.
question from the ESI section I'm taking from the chat box.
Okay.
Vikalp is asking that how do you go about the different facts and figures? This is a
Hmm.
very, very, very common question because when it comes to ESI and when it comes to current affairs part, there are a lot of
Yes, sir.
facts and figures, especially
Yes,
government
sir.
schemes, reports, PIB
Yes, sir.
releases. So
Hmm.
how to memorize or shortlist or filter the facts and figures?
Okay. So basically, to be honest, what I followed in the OneNote app in my mobile as well as computer, I used to copy paste from PIB important paragraphs, what I think that I can revise later,
Hmm.
and I made a separate notes for me. I didn't to create any notes in writing, but I just use the OneNote app. This is the first thing, and secondly, the important links. So suppose you are reading a news or you are reading an article, so that link you can just copy paste in your
Hmm.
OneNote chat box, and no, not chat box, sorry, OneNote
Understood.
note. Yeah,
Application. Hmm.
there and after the exam is near, when the exam is near, like 1 week or 2 week, you just stop reading everything and just start revising these
Hmm.
notes you have made for yourself. Now it is up to them whether they want to write on paper or they want to use digital notes like me. Okay,
Hmm.
so that will be there.
The idea is that the facts should go into your long-term memory, right? From your short-term
Yes,
memory,
yes,
they should transport themselves to your long-term memory, and
yes,
that can
yes.
only be done by revision.
Then revision, yes. And about the ESA current affairs part, the reports are very much important.
Hmm.
So if and actually what I personally did that the Affairs Cloud monthly subscription I have taken, as I told,
Hmm.
that thing where the reports are given in a very detailed manner. I used to follow that, and these reports are so much important. There are some reports. I mean, no matter how much you read in the exam, you will find something that you do not know.
Hmm.
Basically, even this time there are some report from the OECD,
Hmm.
and they ask typical questions like which is the country that is mentioned in certain lines and all. I didn't have any idea. So these
Hmm.
things will happen, but one has to try the best because the thing is that the ESI syllabus is vast. You just can they can pick up question from anywhere.
Hmm.
So we have to do it as much as possible, as maximum as possible. We can do.
The more you read, actually, the more lucky you get, right? You
Yes,
can,
sir.
in fact,
The
shortlist from the different options. The more information
yes,
you have, you can eliminate different options.
right, right. Yes, definitely.
Right. ठीक है. Sinjo, now the third paper, that is the English. We have talked
Yes,
about ESI, we have talked about FM. Now the descriptive English part.
yes, sir.
Please tell me about that. How did you prepare?
Sir, I didn't specifically prepare for the English. This essay, the thing is that when I am preparing for the ESI and FM descriptive part, actually I am writing paragraphs. I am structuring an answer. So that thing is going to help me in English part, the essay or the PCs and all. And for the essay, I didn't prepare because for ESI and FM, when reading the current parts, you are going to read a lot of things, and the essay will be compared to, I mean, the English paper will be easier when the ESI and FM descriptive part is revised thoroughly or the prepared thoroughly. So I don't think English will be a much problem. But the writing skill that one has to develop only by practice. The more you write, the better and sweeter it is going to get.
Understood. Okay. Now, Sinjoy, let's come to the phase 1 part now.
Yeah, just before that, just one thing is important, that since it is an online examination, so the thing is that I do a lot of computer typing in my office, so that didn't become a lot of problem for me. But I have understood that from for some of the persons, I mean from the Telegram group and WhatsApp group, that this is a very much terrific thing to write 2000 words in 90 minutes. So I think everyone should practice that, and if they are practicing this descriptive paper, they must type it on computer only, not on paper.
Understood. So please don't take it for granted. That is basically the advice that Srinjoy already had a good typing speed because he types a lot of reports in the office itself. But if you are not someone who has a good typing speed, then it is definitely recommended that you practice typing through a keyboard, and preferably an old keyboard, not a very sleek and a smooth
You have
keyboard.
got a point. Yes, and obviously also you can practice while keeping the fan off in the room because it is going to get very much hot in the examination hall.
Right. Okay. Now, so you're coming to the first leg of the exam, the phase 1.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Now, we all know there is quant, there is reasoning, there is English, and then there is GA. So, what about these four sections? You can pick up in any order. Please tell me the entire strategy for all these four sections. How many mock tests, right? Concepts need to be read first. Which section needs to be focused upon more? GA, how many current affairs? Sorry, how many months of current affairs? What kind of current affairs?
Yes.
Right? Please tell me everything.
Sir, about phase 1, I would tell about the most important part, which is the general knowledge. Actually, that has 80 marks. So basically, this time it was very much hard. This time phase 1, but normally the last 2 times I have appeared, it was comparatively easier. And for that, I followed two sources mainly. One is the GK Today, and one is Affairs Scout. So what I used to do that, no, Affairs Scout, not monthly current affairs. Actually, that is detailed current affairs. But
Pocket
Affairs Scout, weekly current affairs, which is like
okay.
only short, like one liner and little things. So what I did that for every month I followed those two sources, and in the OneNote app I used to copy paste each and every news I read. So for a month almost like I had like 500 news. Okay. And after I had prepared this, for the last 6 months I prepared, but I think that if anyone wants 3 or 4 months is okay. But for safety purpose, I prepared for 6 months. And for that, about the 6 months, you have to just do ratta. Okay, there is no concept, there is no logic or thinking. You have to do ratta. Yeah, anything they can ask, who has been the CEO of Asian Development Bank.
Facts,
but only
they are not facts based on logic. That's fact.
Right. या फिर किसी ने इतना ग्रोथ का कितना परसेंटेज प्रोजेक्ट किया, anything, just ratta, it is okay. Fine. So this is about the GA. Yeah, GA. About the English part, actually I didn't prepare anything separately. About the reasoning and the maths part, that I like to say, the thing is that everyone knows the technique, but the applying is important. This time the quants part was very comparatively tougher, and about the reasoning part also, that is quite standard. So what I did personally, that I approximately appeared in approximately 30 mock tests, okay, before the exam, from practice mock, olive board, and EduTap as well. So from there, what is to happen, that you know the technique, but the main trick is how to complete them in time. So after you more appear, when the mocks you appear, you would understand that where you are lagging behind, or I mean why suppose some kind of questions you are not able to do it properly within time. Then see, the thing is that for 2 hours 200 marks is quite a lot. So it is very important. You cannot like attempt 200 unless you have some special gift. So the thing is that you have to understand what questions you would not attempt.
Yeah.
That is the very much important thing. What question you would attempt, that is separate, but the most important thing, you would have to leave some questions.
Skip.
And
Right.
yeah, so what happens that we attempt one question, and after like 10 minutes we understand, oh, I cannot solve this. So these mistakes should not be there. And these things you would only get after appearing in mocks. So more mocks you appear, the better it is. Like for example, for the practice mock, there is a subscription where you can get full mock test as well as these reasoning,
Chapter
quants,
wise.
English, chapter wise mock test,
Sectional.
sectional mock test. So that is very much important for phase one. And just in this regards, I would like to say about phase two also. I purchased this course of this mock test of only mock test of practice mock and Olympiad. So for phase two, it is not about the time. The phase two is about the time, that how much questions you are appearing in how much time. But for phase two, it is not about the time, but it is about the diversity of questions. Like if you appear in the mock test in the practice mock as well as Olympiad, you will see these can be asked. I mean, and it was terrific. I mean, so many questions were. I mean, after I'm reading, suppose 2 months or 3 months of content, even then I am not able to answer some questions. So that thing obviously help anyone.
Right. Understood.
Yeah.
So this is about mock tests, 30 mocks, almost 30 mocks. English, you did not prepare specifically.
Yes.
For GA, 3 to 4 months of current affairs is the minimum.
Yes.
Right? If you have time, then you can go up to 6 months.
Up to 6
And
months. Yes.
Variety of current affairs and variety of questions you need to practice.
Right.
That is the mantra, right?
Yes. And for phase two, I would just forget one thing, that I prepared 8 months of current affairs, but if you have time, then prepare more, because in our exam, there was one question which was from an article which was 14 months earlier from the date of exam. Our exam was on April 2021, and there was one article on February 2020, which I didn't have any idea of actually. So the thing is that this much older current affairs is asked. So if you have time, then do it. But if you do not have, then you cannot obviously do anything.
Understood. So we have completed all the stages, phase one, phase two, as well as interview. Now, Sanjoy, one very important question. Basically, you've already answered that. See, there are many aspirants out there who are working, right? They do not have the luxury of time, if I may put it like that way. So how much time did you devote? So there was a fixed time, 2 hours, 3 hours, 1 hour, 1.5 hour. How much time did you devote on a daily basis? And was it consistent, or was it like a graph, sine wave? Sometimes 4 hours, sometimes 1 hour, sometimes 2 hours. How was it for you?
Actually, there was no particular schedule that this much of hours I have to give, but I tried every possible opportunity. Suppose if in the lunch time, if I have got time, or any time, I mean, like any day, someday it was 4 hours, someday it was 5 hours. There is no particular time, but you have to take the best out of every moment you get if you are a working candidate.
Understood. ठीक है जी. So I think again that point is valid that you told us in the beginning itself, that if the target is clear, you will find a way to reach that target, right? If the target is not clear, you're not motivated enough for the target, and what you will find is excuses, different types of excuses.
Yes, sir.
Right. So aspirants, this is a very important point. If your target is very clear, you will find a way. But if the target is not clear, then you will find excuses. This is also what I believe in, right? Okay, Asrinja, one last question, then you can tell aspirants anything you want to, then we'll close the session. How did EduTap help you in the entire preparation journey? Like 3 years, it has been a long time that you have been associated with us. So how did EduTap play a role?
To be honest, I would like to thank EduTap from the bottom of my heart. Okay, basically 3 years I have kept this trust, that quite shows that what EduTap is actually to me. For the phase two part, I mean, I am talking about this year only. For the phase two part, I totally followed EduTap, other than these basically other sources like PIB and all. I just solely followed it. I do not know about the marks right now, but I think it will be okay. And about the phase one part, I personally didn't follow EduTap, but if you do, then obviously it is okay. And EduTap mock test actually I applied, but not the subjective part, I mean the reading part, that I did. Yeah. And about the interview part, as I mentioned there, I have been taking a lot of mock interviews. So EduTap, also from EduTap, there was one mock interview that was quite good. So, but I would personally request Deepak sir, which I already did to you via email, if you remember, that
video
conference will be better, because the thing is that
we will be doing that.
Yeah, I do. I think I do not need to explain why it is video.
That is very, very important. In fact, the physical face-to-face interview is the ideal scenario. The second
Yes.
best scenario is a video. The third scenario is an audio.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So that thing I would expect.
We'll be working on that this time. Actually, what
Definitely.
happened was the panel members, they are spread over different cities.
Yeah.
So one is in Bangalore, one is in Mumbai, one is in Chandigarh. So it has become difficult to arrange the technical part of the interview, get net
Yeah, I
connections,
got it.
fast net connections, and the devices. But this
Yes,
time
sir.
we'll be doing that.
Yeah, if
Definitely,
possible, please
we'll
do
be
that.
doing
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Anything you want to share with aspirants Enjoy, because there are around close to 125 people who are watching this live, and a lot of aspirants would be watching it later. So anything that you want to share with the aspirants?
Nothing. There's one thing I would like to just share, that perseverance. Just keep your preparation consistent. Just do not leave in the meantime. Okay, fine. You may be having sleepless nights and a painful evening, and you cannot go to dinner for that particular period. But again, whenever you feel like you want to quit, just remember why you started. So
Exactly.
that's
Well
all
said.
I would like to say.
Well said. Well said. Thank you so much, Enjoy, for taking time out today.
Thank you,
And
sir.
heartiest congratulations once again. I felt really elated when you called me yesterday. Na? I have your number. So it
Yes,
comes
sir.
in. I was sure that you're calling me because you have been selected.
No,
So,
actually, sir, I thought that this is, I mean, no, I cannot just message you in WhatsApp or email, sir, I have got it and all. I mean, you deserve a lot more respect and acknowledgement,
thank
you
you.
and your team. And I do not have any contact with Anchit, sir, but please convey my thanks to him. Okay,
Yeah.
he is the one that without any financial or management background, I have actually done this thing. So that's all.
Thank you so much. So enjoy. Take care. All the very best.